This is why I feel stressed. Okay, yes, there might be some reasons, but it doesn't matter. By judging your emotions and attaching story to your emotions, it does not allow you to feel it. That's exactly what the mind does. And I'm not saying it's an easy work to just sit somewhere and feel it, because then you have to release it. If you don't let your emotions to come and go, it starts to stuck in that part of the body that I told you to sense it when it comes. Let's say you're so stressed. The majority of the people who are feeling extremely stressed out or anxious about a situation, it could be about their work or family situations or anything it might be, they usually feel that here. So just imagine, I'm going to talk about like an analogy. Let's say your kitchen sink, it has the amount of capacity that it can hold a certain amount of water or any liquid. Let's talk about water. So, and you open up a tap and you forget to close the tap or close the tap, whichever way it works for you in your kitchen. According to that capacity that your sink has, it can only take a certain amount of water. If you close the drainage, there's a drainage in every sink. If you're not allowing the drainage to release the water that comes in from the tap, the water starts to fill up the sink. And if you don't close the tab at a certain time, a specific certain time, the water starts to overflow. A little bit of overflow of water might be okay, and you might just close the tap, open up the drainage, let the water goes, and clean up the mess here and there. Mop the floor or clean up the surface and whatever it might be. But if, just imagine that you're not home or you're not paying attention at all to the running tab, or if you're not even home because you're trying to ignore it or whatever, the water overflows more and more and more, and the mess it creates will be destructive. It can be destructive. It can damage your floor, it can damage your kitchen and cabinets, and it can also go through your whole house. If the water tap runs for hours, it can destroy life. Now, the water, the kitchen sink with the drainage there, that always have to be open unless you want to wash dishes or whatever. You do that, you're controlling it, and then you just release the water. But that sink represents your body. The flow of the water is everything that you are taking in every day in your body. Life situations and everything that you go through, each and every life situations that you go through are creating an emotions in your body. And each of these emotions are storing in certain parts. When you are not allowing these emotions to be released, well, they stay there. And your body has only a certain amount of capacity, similar to the sink, to hold certain amounts of emotions. Scientifically, it's been proven by research that most of the anxiety and stress, as I've explained, stores around this area. In the spirituality, we call it solar plexus. And it is stored, it's part of our vital organs, and it has its own intelligence and memories in biology. You can read more about this in one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, where he has done a full research and case study about this area and how the anxiety and fears are storing in this part of the body, in your the solar plexus, and all the bottom chakras. So the more it stores here, your heart, where it feels, where you have to express yourself, more emotions are starting here. And what is emotion? Emotions are energy in motion. Everything made in our world is made out of energy. And emotions is energy in motion. When you're holding on to an emotion, it stores in your body. So you're not allowing it, you are not allowing it to flow and pass through your body. Well, it stucks there. Your body cannot handle it, like the sink, it cannot handle more than certain amounts of emotions. So it has to overflow. And how it overflows? You feel pain. Physical symptoms. Physical symptoms starts to appear in your body. And when you're going through pain, when you're sick, I hope everybody's are healthy, but you know, when you catch a cold or when you're sick, you don't have enough mental clarity or clear thoughts, and you can't go to your day-to-day. That's why you take a sick leave, you rest, or you just take some time for yourself, because it's important to give yourself and allow yourself to, stay in and let the course of this virus or sickness or whatever it is goes. You will take some medicines that might help you to fast track this process and help you to heal faster before you can go back to your daily life. It is exactly the same thing with your emotions. So when you're in pain, physically or mentally, because before the emotions are starting to show up in the physical symptoms, depending on what types of emotions you've been storing all this time in your body, they are going to fog your mind, your brain, your thoughts, your decisions. All of that is like a cycle. So you become more confused because there are some things there that is not allowing you to think clearly. So if you're stressed and you're anxious about something, which most of them are coming from a place of fear, it could be fear of unknown, then it does not allow you to think clearly. So you make decisions based on those emotions mixed in. But when you have a clear mind, when you're not stressed, when you're calm, you are able to see things clear, even better, or even differently. You're less judging certain things in your life. You're not acting according to your emotions. But first of all, your body needs to have enough room cleared up to be able to think clearly. If it's all so many things stored up, energies are stored up here, you will have a mental fog. You can't really make the decisions as a result. Our choices makes our reality. So you make choices that are not aligned with your desired outcome. And despite your actions and as much effort as you put in to your work, you are still not going to see the results that you desire, because you're not acting from a place of calm. Which means if you were calmer, you might have seen things differently, the situations differently, your perception would have changed and shift, and that would allow you to make maybe a different choice or act in a different way. And it's like a domino effect. Step by step, that will take you closer to your desired outcome. Whether it's you're in business, your finances, your family, your relationships, your overall well-being, your health. So you have to feel your feelings to release. So you might tell me, like, Palmis, it's too much. I mean, okay, I might find like 5-10 minutes of time. I sit there, it's uncomfortable. I don't know what to do with it. It's overwhelming. How do I release it? Okay, I felt it. It's in my body. I felt it here. I felt it in my arms. I felt it in my legs. I felt it in my throat. What am I do with it? What can I do with it? Well, there are techniques. Of course, we go to therapists, we go to psychologists, because they are helping us to identify the feelings that we are feeling. Sometimes we don't even know what we feel. Then they're giving us some directions to how to deal with them. Let's say they're not going towards the, medicine or anything like that, but they just give you some directions and techniques of how to deal with this issues or emotions that you are currently feeling. They're all mind focused. So if you're not willing enough to follow those directions, Well, you fell. And it's really common because, of course, with talk therapy, you let things out. The first step is you talk about your issues. When you talk about your issues, that means you're accepting them. So that's perfect. You go to your therapy, you talk about it. That's the first step. Or even to a good friend. Psychologist will give you some, or a coach will give you some framework if this is what you need to be doing. But if you're not willing enough, or your situations are not allowing you to be willing enough to follow those steps, you're going to fall back. And because you're already in that situation and you have that mental fog already, you're not going to be able to go through the right cycle, so you keep going backward into your own loop. You might try a little bit here and there, or maybe for a few days, but all it takes for you is one incident, one situation to take you back again to the same routine and make things even worse. Because in the physical world, healing takes time. And yes, it's important to go through the process, but even our time is limited. Yes, you have to go through your healing in a process-based, but sometimes you might be stuck in a loop. That's why we work with the energy. If you're not allowing yourself to release those emotions and energies that are stored here, you're going to completely going through the same loop. And trust me, life still throws at you more and more and more because you keep getting the outcome that you didn't ask for. So that will create more stress, more anxiety, more guilt, and all those negative emotions that we call negative emotions, but they're not negative or they're not positive. We all want to be happy all the time. We can't. Life brings stuff to us that are not according to our expectations. And if we don't know how to deal and regulate our emotions, or find techniques or ways that we could release our emotions that helps us to navigate through life in a more coherent state, we keep repeating the loop and it's not going to take us anywhere good. So what we usually do is, what part of one of my services, CAP, Kundalini activation, life force activation, we work with the energy. And yes, it could be overwhelming for you to sit down, half an hour, meditate, and you have to do it for 30 days or 50 days, and you're like, oh my God, I don't have time. All you need to do is just to give yourself 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours if you're coming to the open classes. But if you're just giving it to yourself with your, one-on-one sessions, you will get a chance at a safe space to work with your own energy field while you're doing nothing. You don't have to think, you don't have to even follow any instructions as guided meditations. You just have to lie down, close your eyes, listen to the music. All I would ask you to do is to park your analytical mind at the door. Just let it go. Be open and you will see the change. I've worked with more than hundreds and hundreds of clients across the globe, Australia, New Zealand, in Europe, Middle East. There were people coming in and they were like, oh, this is wishy-washy. I don't believe in anything. It's not about your belief. It's about you, your body, how the energy works, and all the facts. But there are other ways these days. So we transmit the universal energy that is in our energy field to you that will help you to activate your own life force energy that's been stuck and dormant at the bottom because of everything that you've thrown in your body all these years. The belief system, the emotions, and anything that just came to your life, you just stored them here. So that helps your life force energy when it rises. It's like a little sprint cleaning tool. It starts to go through your body and it starts to clearing up. And these emotions can be released. So the safe space allows you to release and express yourself, not in a talkative manner. It makes you to feel your emotions. I'm not going to call it negative or positive, but if you feel like a big sense of joy, you're able to laugh out loud, because even when you're so happy, when was the last time you remember that you were so happy you wanted to jump up and down and scream? But of course, you're an adult. You must keep it to yourself, maybe smile and express yourself responsibly. But how many times you might have walked into your room or somewhere private and just jumped up? But if you didn't get that chance, you will still suppress that joy. So it's not always about sadness or fear or stress that we're suppressing. We're also suppressing joy. So you also get a chance to feel the real joy and express it. Laugh out loud like that little baby running in the park and laughing. How beautiful is that? Everybody loves it, but we're all like judging ourselves and about what other people think of us. They think I'm crazy. But this space allows you to release it. So as part of that, you will let out. Sometimes you might cry out loud or scream. You can do that. You're just giving a chance to feel your feelings and then allow it to come out. And it's not only that, sometimes these energies are not showing up as, certain emotions or reactions to those emotions, like, crying, screaming, laughing. It could be in your body and it wants to release. So some people make some movements or making mudras, like even going into some yoga poses. Yoga poses are helping you also to release some emotions. But in this instant, your energy is so intelligent that gives you what you need at that certain point of time that you can handle. If you can't handle certain things, you're not going to get it. If you can only handle to lie down there calm and just have some realizations and release like very slowly and, just feel to an extent, that's exactly what you get. The next time, you expand a little bit more. Because every time you clean your body, which is your room, just imagine your own room, or if you have a garage and you filled it up with all the stuff that you've owned and you kept, you might not be able to go through that room in one go. Depends on how much you have and how willing you are to let it go. It's a process. So again, it's a process. So we're not making anything super fast, but it's much faster than how the mind works. For you to just focus on one way, which will be talk therapy. And medicines, like, yes, whatever it's needed, of course you take it, but we're not trying to suppress anything. Just want you to feel it. And clients are coming in, and after the session, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know I have this much grief in me. I feel much lighter. I feel better. Or I've had a client that came in and said like, oh, I've never thought that I would feel such a joy after the session. I felt calm for days, and that made me to help the right move towards my business, because I was not sure what am I doing, and even a few other opportunities just falls into my place, falls in front of me, and that was good. So that's how CAP could help you. Of course, many people do CAP for years, and the whole purpose of this work is to expand your consciousness, which helps you to make different choices and take directions that get you closer to your desired outcome. It could be a better health, a better family relationships, a better relationship with yourself, at work, your business, your growth. But it all comes to your own willingness. If you are willing to know yourself better and really achieve what you want, this is the best way to go through it. You can book a free consultation with me for 15 minutes. And at the moment, I'm offering a 30 minutes shadow work coaching session at the end of my private CAP sessions. So at the end of your private CAP, you will receive your personalized feedback, and we'll be working through a 30 minutes shadow work coaching framework. And yeah, you will get some guidance to take away and enjoy your journey. Drop me a note, send me a message, and I hope I can see you soon and walk this path together.